Hey everyone, Miss Kline here, and today we're going to do the Cyber Robotics 101 Gyro Reset unit, and we're going to learn all about how to reset the gyroscope so that you can put your code in a loop, and we'll see why. So we're going to start with mission 1, resetting the gyro. Reset the gyro to loop turns. The gyro sensor can be reset to 0. Now you can loop consecutive turns. So here you can see Ms. Kline's tried this before. So we're going to restart the program. And the mission starting from scratch. And we're learning about the resetting the gyro. You can reset the gyro value back to 0. This means each turn starts at 0, so all turns end at 90 degrees. So instead of 90, 180, 270, 360, it's 0 to 90, 0 to 90. And that's going to help us when we put things in loops. The base code uses a loop to repeatedly turn to the left at 90 degrees. See if it works. So watch how it fails and where it fails. We're doing fine. We're going until touch, turning to the left, stopping at 90 degrees. We're going until touch, but we're actually turning to 180 degrees because it did not reset. So the program is failing here. As you can see, the robot keeps on spinning. The gyro value is already over 90 degrees and the robot fails to complete the second term. This reset gyro block can help. When executed, the gyro resets back to 0. Determine when you want the gyro to be reset back to 0. Place the gyro reset in your block in your code, run it, and may the code be with you. If all else fails, you can use the tips in the light bulb. So we're going to put the gyro reset at the bottom, and this will reset the gyroscope back to 0 each time it's in this loop. So let's see if that solves the problem. We're going forward until touch, left, greater than or equal to 90. Resetting the gyro, turning left, and it works because when we set it to 0, we're only going at 90 degrees. Yay, we did it. Good job. So in this next activity, we're going to build it from scratch. No code there at all. But Ms. Kline has practiced all these missions, and so my code's still there. So we're going to reset and start from scratch. This mission is a little bit different because we're going to be going to the, don't fear the tipper. Good job. This time we're going to be going to the right once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then the 6th time. We're going to go until we touch, turn right to 90 degrees, reset, and then repeat. So we're going to get a control flow because we're going to do this 6 times. Now this time, instead of putting a couple blocks there, we're going to use our smart blocks. We're going to go there and import it. You're going to find the until touch, and if you don't see it in there, you can put until and it'll show up. You get the little checkbox, you click import, and then it shows up in your code. There's that until touch block. That's the only one we need for right now. So notice how it doesn't appear right there. You can check your code. Okay, the code is good. Forward until touch, but we need to import it again. So if you don't see it, you can import it again. Ah, here it is. Very good. So sometimes the computer will get confused with the smart block, so just re-import it. Now we're going to go until touch and we're going to turn right. So we're going to get our motor block and we're going to make it turn to the right. But we don't want to tell it a time because we're going to use the gyro scope to measure the turn. So we always slow our turns down to 15 or something slow. We're going to set the steering, close the gear. Now we can duplicate this block. We want the steering to be 100% because it's a point turn. So it's going to turn to the right because it's positive. Now we're going to use the sensor, the control flow to tell it to stop when we get to a certain angle, which is minus 90 degrees because we're turning to the right. Because remember, the gyroscope is counterclockwise. So if we go clockwise, we have to call that the opposite direction. And we're going to wait till we're less than or equal to 90 degrees. Now what we have to do here is we need to reset the gyroscope after we do that. Otherwise we can't loop it 6 times because it'll be adding 90 degrees each time. This way it changes to 0 and then off it goes. Now this course is a little longer so we can double speed as we run through the course. Hey, we did it. So you can see the code here. A successful run. Spiral in and reach the center in time. This should be just as easy or difficult as spiraling out. So you're going to see the code that we are going to be using. We're going to be doing this course 5 times. We're going to go until touch. We're going to be making a left turn. So it's going to be greater than or equal to positive 90 because we're going in the normal direction of the gyroscope. Then we're going to go forward and reset. So we want to make sure we have our gyro reset in there. Now, Miss Kline has already put the until touch, and then we turn left to 90. Then we go forward and we reset. Remember to go to the plus sign to grab your smart block and click import if it's not there yet. So restart this. We'll build this code. So we're going to need this loop. And if you can't see it, you can go full screen. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, and then to the target. So a loop of 6. And we're going to go until touch, turn left, 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 until touch, turn left. So we're going to get our control flow 6 times. And we're going to import our until touch. So you're going to click on it, click the word import. So ours is not working right now, so we're going to import it again. If it's gray, it's not a problem. You can just import it again. There you go. As long as it's blue, it'll work. And it's okay if you have 2 up here. It's not going to hurt anything. So until touch, now we're going to turn to the left, get a motor block, set the steering. You duplicate a block. In your Chromebook, it's Alt-click duplicate, or on a Mac or PC, it could be Control-click. Just play with it if it's not working. We're doing 100% turn. We're going to slow it way down. And we're going to use the gyroscope. Now remember, we're going to the left, so we want a minus 100. And then we're going to be going with the counterclockwise turn of the gyroscope, so it's going to be a positive 90 degrees. And we're going to reset our gyro. I might need another block in there. I saw not one before, but I'm going to, sometimes I try and see if it. And left. It wants that forward one. Now remember, you can speed it up if you are confident your code is working. Yay. So remember, notice how if Ms. Kline had trouble, it's not a problem. You're just going to tweak your code until it works correctly. So I'm going to show you what that code looks like before we go to the next one. So we're good to go. Slice this pizza, aka divide it into 8 parts. So you can see our code. We're going to go forward until we touch, and then we're going to go backward, and we have to guess this distance right here. So I'm just kind of guess 2,000. Then we're going to turn to the right. So you can see we're turning to the right. We're slowing way down. If we slow down, then we have a very controlled turn. And this time we're not going to go 90 degrees because we divided the 360-degree circle by 8 and ended up with 45 degrees. And since we're going away, we're going clockwise, which is away from the normal rotation of the gyroscope. It's a negative number for that opposite. So 45 degrees, less than or equal to, and then we're going to reset our gyro. So let's build that. Oh, this is neat. They give you all the little pieces there. How cute. That's nice. So we're going to repeat it 8 times. Now, Ms. Kline really likes to use the smart block, so that's why she did that. So she's got until touch. She's going to import it. And then I don't have to use those extra blocks. And notice I just went ahead and got the new until touch because we were having trouble with the other one. So we're going to go until touch, and then we're going to drive backward. So I didn't even have to guess because they gave me a good hint there. So until touch, and then we're going to go backward, and then we're going to turn. So here's our turn to the right, and we're going to turn as far as the gyroscope. We're going to say minus 45 degrees because we're going opposite the normal gyroscope. The gyroscope goes counterclockwise, and we're going to go clockwise. So we need the opposite. Then we need to reset that gyro. So we're not doing the wait until touch. We use the smart block for that. Back, turn to the right. Now, sometimes when you speed it up, it makes a mess, and then it won't hit all the blocks. You get all the little energy. Looks like it's doing okay right now. I missed one here. Yay! Good job. So I'll show you that final code. And the only thing difference between what CoderZ's solution was and Ms. Kline likes to use the smart blocks. I really dig the smart blocks. So there you go. So now we're going to go to the next activity. And we are doing triangular tribulations. So this one's really cool. So we're doing a triangle, and we have 360 degrees. And when we divide it by the 3 angles, each angle is 120. We're going to be going to the right again, which means we need to use a negative number for our angle. But we're turning to the right, which means a positive number on the steering. So really interesting. So we're going to start from scratch. We're going to go. Now, this time it isn't an until touch. It's just a set amount of time. So in this one, the way you build this set is we've already got all the blocks there. We're going to go get our repeat loop in there. We've got 3 sides, 3 angles, repeat it 3 times. And then we're going to go forward. We get our drive block. We're going to go forward. And here you're testing how long that is. So Ms. Kline guessed 4,800 milliseconds. I don't think they gave us the milliseconds this time. And so you can just experiment with that. Remember, to get the duration, then we can click duration here. But now we need a turn. So we're going to get another motor block, and we're going to make it a steering block. So this was just a duration for this leg here. Now we need another drive block for the turn. We want to slow that turn down 100 100 positive is to the right, but it's a point turn, so we want 100% of that turn, but we're going to have the gyroscope stop us. And 360 divided by 3, you can use a calculator, 120 degrees, but it's minus because we are turning to the right. Less than or equal to. So it as long as it's less than the 120 degrees, it'll keep moving. And then when it hits the equal sign, when it hits 120, it'll stop. Then we're going to reset it and do it 3 times. So let's give that a whirl. Good job. We'll take a look at that code one more time. And we are ready to go to the next one. Perfect hexagons have 6 sides and 6 corners, each of 120 degrees. Go around the hexagon, but don't be fooled. 120 degrees turns are not the answer. Ooh, sneaky. We're going to continue. Okay, we're looking at this one. We're not inside, we're going outside around this. So we're not going to want the 120 degrees. We want the other side of the angle. So we want the 60 degrees. 6 times 6 makes 360 degrees. So we get our 360 degrees there. So very good. So you can see how we're going to go a certain amount of time. Then we're going to turn to the left. And once it hits 60 degrees, when it's greater than or equal to 60 degrees, it'll keep going and then it'll stop. And then we'll reset our gyro. So once again, we're going to grab a control flow. We're going to get a repeat loop 6 times. Then we're going to get our motor block to go forward. And Ms. Kline worked on it with 3,200 milliseconds. And then we're going to turn to the left. Remember, we get our motor block. And to add duration, we click on the gear. And to add steering, we click on the gear again and check steering. So this is a left turn, nice and slow. Point turn on the 100%, but we're going to let the gyroscope stop us when we get to 60 degrees. As long as it's greater than, we'll keep going until we get greater than or equal to, and then we will stop. And we're going to reset that gyro so it's back to 0, 60 degrees, back to 0, 60 degrees, back to 0, 60 degrees, 6 times. Yay! Good job. And I'll zoom in on that code. So remember, we didn't need, sometimes I was doing another program and it wanted that stop. So sometimes it wants it in there. So just play with the code. It's not, especially when you're in the competition, just do some tweaking and you'll get it to run. We're gonna go to the next one. Now we're working on an octagon with 8 sides. Go around the octagon, getting all the points before getting to the target. So this time we have 8 sides, and this time we're going to the right. I'm going to zoom out, and you can see, here's our octagon. So this is just a matter of playing with the speed, how much time you need, 2,000 milliseconds, turning to the right, positive number, 100% turn, slow, go really slow so it's an accurate turn. And then the 45 degrees angle, so it's less than the 60 because these are smaller angles here. And so we're going to the right. So because we're going to the right, it's a negative gyroscope. So less than or equal to 45 degrees, then we'll reset the gyro and do it all over again 8 different times. So since we just built that in the other one, we don't need to rebuild it, but we get our motor block there. Remember, you click on the little gear and the gyro reset is here. and the control flow for the angle. Now, this is something that might confuse you. Make sure you watch your signs and make sure you watch greater than or equal, greater than or less than, so that you're getting that correct. And then this time the steering is to the right, so it's a positive number. So here we go. And you can speed it up if you want to get through the course. So I'll zoom in on that code. So we can see we made our loop of 8 and reset it. Oh, good. Well, you have finished. Good job. We're in Domino Trail. Now, Domino Trail is really straightforward. You're just going to build any course that you want. And you'll notice that CoderZ gave you a sample course. We're actually in the next unit, but this one's only one mission. So you can see you're going to set a random color. And there's one way to find out what that means. And then we're just going to go forward, and wherever we go forward, we're going to set a domino. This one's kind of fun. You can leave a trail of dominoes. So it's fun to watch it hit it and it'll knock your dominoes down. Yikes. So you can build any program you want here. Anything you build gets you full credit. So good job. And that's it. You've completed it. Good job.